Anyway, here we go. I've never heard what this guy sounds like.
Hello, fellow Kens. I saw the Barbie movie earlier this
Hello, fellow Kens. I went and saw the Barbie movie.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet.
week, and I need to say, every conservative who sells outrage porn telling you it's woke and progressive is flat out wrong.
Oh,
And no, I'm not kidding. Truly, these people have zero media literacy, or their audience has zero media literacy, and they pander to their audience.
oh, okay.
Barbie is a conservative.
Wait. YouTubers pander to their audience? Well, I'll agree with you there. I will agree with you there. Rage bait, reactionary YouTubers that just kind of hate on anything they believe might be woke is pretty dull and lame and boring and stupid. There is also that weird one, when people just try and like twist something to fit like their own political agenda. When people do that, but I don't know. I'm sure this guy's aware of that too. It just hasn't come up yet. It's fine.
Conservative film with Lashian and even Homeric undertones. I'm going to tell you why. It goes without saying, major spoiler.
Homeric undertones? Oh my fucking god. Is this like the American Sargon? Oh my god. See, the actual essence of Barbie is to talk about the philosophy of what is man, in accordance to Aristotelian fundamentals. Fucking gross.
Spoilers ahead, so click away if you have yet to see the movie. This isn't a movie review, I'm not a movie reviewer.
Daddy.
I'll be talking about the relevant plot points, but don't expect Roger Ebert or anything here. I'm here to tell you why Barbie is Odysseus. Why Barbie is a conservative triumph.
It's Odysseus. What the fuck? Oh, fuck me. Oh, no. Oh, my God.
The film opens in Barbie World, an idyllic utopia, remember that word, we're going to come back to that, where Barbies of various forms, physicist Barbie, President Barbie, Supreme Court Justice Barbie, astronaut Barbie, all hold, well, influential positions in society. The Kens, for their part, are accessories to Barbie World. They exist as mere ornamentation to Barbie World during the day, and are kicked out of the parties after a certain time at night so the Barbies can have girls' night every night.
Okay.
Indeed, the Barbies admit they don't even know where the Kens sleep at night, and we're never told this either. The plot focuses on stereotypical Barbie. As her name suggests, and she even says in the film, she's what you think of when you think of Barbie. She's blonde, conventionally attractive, and unlike other Barbies in Barbie World, she has no discernible skills. She's the OG Barbie. The film also focuses on her counterpart, who seems to be the stereotypical Ken, who is literally me. One night...
Who is literally me? What? What? Did you know Barbie and Ken are based on the creator's kids? Their brother and sister. No, really? That's weird. That's really strange.
After partying with all of her Barbie and Ken friends, Barbie becomes overwhelmed with existential dread, asking her friends whether they ever think about death. This onset of existential dread is accompanied by all the realities of real human life: bad breath, cellulite, having flat feet as opposed to arched feet to make wearing heels easier. Barbie, accustomed to her idyllic life and world, is told that this uncomfortable change is due to the girl playing with her in the real world no longer being happy. I can only assume this is attributable to some Barbie metaphysics or theology that I don't quite understand.
It's like, I don't know, empathetic Toy Storyism, or some shit. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Also, so far, I really don't have any comments necessarily on this whole situation so far. But I do think it's kind of weird that this aesthetic is like going on. This vaporwave aesthetic has quite been co-opted by some weird people lately. And in fact, I think I saw almost this exact effect recently in like a DeSantis ad. I wonder if I could find that, actually. I wonder. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious. If this is something. Where is that? Huh. Wonder if we got a picture. Yeah.
So, Barbie and Ken venture into the real world, Los Angeles, which is a bit ironic, to find the girl playing with Barbie so Barbie can make her happy, and thus help Barbie's idyllic life return to the way it was, no more cellulite. Barbie wants to return to her utopia. While in the real world, Ken learns about patriarchy and thus tries to use his man status to get various prestigious jobs. Funnily, Ken's knowledge of patriarchy very evidently came from the very progressively minded conspiracy theorists we see online and in our world every day, who believe being a man is playing life on easy mode because when he actually tries to pursue any kind of employment, he's turned away for his lack of experience and qualifications. Dismayed by the lack of real patriarchy in the real world, Ken returns to Barbie World alone to instantiate a new regime.
Wait. What? Wait. Is your condemnation on the wait, hang on. Is your condemnation on this is that because you have somebody who is quite literally a toy, a brain-dead toy that has no skills whatsoever, and then goes into the real world, the patriarchy doesn't just like hand him a doctorate or some shit? You skipped an important point. See, that's why you're here, Screwbucket. Tell me. Red pill me, my dude. Red pill me. I want to know. Tell me all about it, baby. Oh, yeah. See, like, there's a lot of... Yeah, there's a lot of, like, this kind of weird vaporwave stuff that's constantly being put out there. It's weird. Like, I know there's some people are going to be like, well, you know, if you go looking for something, yada, 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 yada. And, like, no, I get that. I totally get that. And I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is I've seen so many things like this over and over again that at this point, when I see vaporwave with the grid, you know, like, yep, here's here's another one, there's another one, yep. Hang on, we'll get to your message in a minute, Screwbucket. I'm just surprised at how many of these damn things I've found so far. Like, they're all over the goddamn place. Holy shit. Wow. Anyway, the last time Ken tries to do the patriarchy thing with a bunch of CEOs, they laugh and say that the patriarchy exists, but they're much more subtle these days. Ken's initial view of the patriarchy is literally what the right wing claims that the left thinks it is, a stupid conspiracy where men just get things. Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, look, and the thing is, what I mean is that like this basic concept makes total sense to me, but the problem is largely that this guy is not necessarily going to be like touching on the finer points, is that instead maybe he might be crafting his argument and the way he talks about it to fit a political narrative. Kind of like that thing that I was talking about when I first started watching this, you know? Maybe that thing, I don't know. But that he skips over that is a shocker. It must have just skipped his fucking mind, right? I don't know.
Ken World. Barbie, for her part, stays in the real world to find the girl who is playing with her doll form and finds the girl and her mother. As it turns out, the tween girl who goes on a hysterically satirical rant about how Barbie has just advanced the patriarchy hasn't played with Barbie in years, and it was the mother, stressed, lonely, and nostalgic, who was playing with Barbie. The mother, not the daughter, was responsible for Barbie's existential crisis and her cellulite. The three of them return to Barbie World so Barbie can show them how great...
Wait. So the young girl is saying that Barbie as a representation perpetuates the patriarchy, but at the same time, the mother is depressed and playing with Barbie because it probably reminds her of like an easier time when she was young, and that this was like an ideal of being younger and being able to pretend. Like so this is what's really fascinating to me is I haven't seen it, so Screwbucket, you're gonna have to tell me if I'm right on this or not. But if I was writing this, and these are some of the plot points that I'm dealing with, it would be that Barbie in and of itself represents a type of innocent childhood that, while yes, it perpetuates some patriarchal stereotypes and shit like that, still evokes a type of wonder and imagination, you know? And as well, like, I guess you'd have, I don't know, is the thing where the young girl is like, yeah, you perpetuate patriarchy, is it more nuanced than that? Or is it just, as this guy says, entirely satirical or some shit, you know? Like, I don't know. It's weird. There's so many ways you could actually write this in an interesting way.
It is how women are happy in this utopia, how they control everything and nothing goes wrong ever. By the time they arrive, however, the Chad Kens have instantiated their new world order, and honestly it looks sick. Everyone was happy, life looked fun, I'd live in Ken World. You would too.
Ken World was super sick, actually. Because all the dudes are in control is just super awesome. It's so great. You just got done saying that, like, the Barbie world is super awesome for girls. And now you're saying, like, that was shattered. And now it's Ken World, and, like, Ken World is super cool and shit. Like, what the fuck, dude? It's... That's just, like, the gender war right there. The daughter is more so a representation of how modern feminism has come to see the original function of Barbie. It's exaggerated, but the entire real world is an exaggeration to an extent. Also, I haven't seen the movie. These points are just so easily found as misrepresenting or missing points is frustrating. Sure.
But then Barbie, the tween, and the tween's mom come back to restore the Longhouse, or, to the uninitiated, the matriarchy, of Barbie World. You see, the Barbies of Ken World had simply been brainwashed to believe they enjoyed getting along with the Kens and treating them like people. The main Barbie and the mother-daughter remind the Barbies that they enjoy being wage slaves and paying taxes, and so they revolt against the Kens and restore Barbie World, but with some increased equality for the Kens. Barbie encourages Ken to find his own identity, independent of Barbie.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. So what you're telling me is, like, the Barbie world in the beginning was not good. Because the Kens were, you know, oppressed. And then the Kens take power and the Barbies are oppressed. And then when it's fixed, like, rights are expanded and people, like, start to have equal rights. Cool? That sounds cool. Okay.
With the utopia that is Barbie World restored, Barbie is given the chance to stay in Barbie World with her arched feet, no cellulite, perfect fun day, for all time. Or to return to the real world. The creator of Barbie...
Literally, Ken's entire arc in the movie is about buying into enticing real masculinity grift from the patriarchy and how the patriarchy uses that grift to hold down both men and women. Yeah, dude, that makes total fucking sense to me. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Like, but don't you understand that Ken World was, like, super sick? It's super awesome.
Appears and explains to Barbie that returning to the real world, becoming a real woman, will entail all the shortcomings of life. Barbie will age, she will die, she'll get sick. She will have to get a job, and presumably not as President of the US or Supreme Court Justice. Life will, by all accounts, be harder for her than it would be in Barbie World.
Yeah.
But...
Is this going to be a bootstraps? Also, I appreciate questions about, like, different things, but when I'm in this frame right now, I'm recording a video, so I'm not going to answer any of your questions on stuff that isn't exactly what we're talking about. So just hold that off until we're done. We're done recording a video, all right?
But Barbie is also offered a vision of what real life has to offer. Love, motherhood, authentic human emotion, mirth, joy.
She's a toy. There was a line in the movie at the end about how the Kens hope to have an equal woman... equality, women hope to have the equality women do in the real world. I don't know.
Barbie quickly accepts the offer, becoming human and naming herself Barbara. She rejects utopia, she rejects immortality, she rejects perfection. She embraces fragility, pain, inconvenience, inevitable death, and yes, even cellulite. The last scene is Barbie walking...
And yes, even cellulite. Okay. Ken's taking over Barbie Land is basically flipping everything on its head. It's the same thing as before, but with the men in charge. The Barbies are lured into this with the idea that they don't have to work as hard. But they end up becoming accessories just like the men were. The return isn't simply a return to matriarchy with some added benefits. The Kens are treated as something more than just accessories. It's showing progress. Right. Yeah.
Walking into a gynecologist's office to schedule her first ever gynecology appointment. There are two ways to take this, and they're not mutually exclusive either. First, it's a joke about how Barbies and Kens have no genitals, and so now she has genitals for the first time, so she has to go to the gynecologist. But there's something else far more life-affirming going on here. Why a gynecologist and not a general practitioner or an ENT? Why have it be a gynecologist appointment and not, say, setting up a checking account? Again, there's something very life-affirming here, and
oh no, it's a baby thing. I think he's gonna say it's a baby thing.
I'll let you figure it out. And that's it, a high-level overview of the plot of Barbie. It was an entertaining movie with a few laugh-out-loud moments, though admittedly fewer than I thought there'd be. It was also, as I said, a conservative triumph. Let's talk about why. And
Okay.
again, I'm being 100% serious.
Okay.
The word utopia was coined by St. Thomas More, the English lawyer, judge, and statesman who got his head chopped off for refusing to go along with Henry VIII's degeneracy. He was canonized, made a saint, in 1935, and he happens to be my confirmation saint too. It was between him and Thomas Aquinas.
Oh yeah, I should mention this guy is a Catholic. Take of that what you will.
But getting your head cut off for the faith was just too cool, so I had to go with Thomas More. Anyway, before losing his head, Thomas More wrote a book called Utopia, in which he coined the term from the ancient Greek utopos, meaning no place or nowhere. This is very similar to the Greek utopos, meaning good place. In other words, it was a little joke, a goof, a prank, a pun. But it was also something more serious. Thomas More posed a question. Is the good place really just no place? In other words, is it possible to create a perfect world? Can you immanentize the eschaton? The answer, of course, is that you cannot. A utopia is no place. It cannot exist. You will never be able to bring it about. And as history tells us, attempts to bring about utopia are mere folly, and they often lead to death and despair.
Beware the communists. So this is another one of those things that always drives me fucking nuts when it comes to terminally online fucking nerds. Is they have this idea that if they trace something back far enough, they can find some argumentation against something based in the etymology of it. I don't give a fuck what the basis for utopia came from. Contemporarily speaking, utopia is understood as an over-idealized notion of the world that is, not to say that it's necessarily impossible, but very lofty to try and accomplish. These are not small goals, you know. But yeah, go ahead.
What is Barbie world, after all, but Thomas More's utopia? It is, after all, an imaginary world at its core. It's a world where children's playthings toil.
Why would it be a utopia? It's a utopia for the Barbies, but it's a dystopia for the Kens. Like, what? What? What are you fucking talking about? Like, there's a hugely authoritarian aspect to it that I can see right from just your explanation of the goddamn video.
Life is perfect. You don't have bad breath or cellulite. Everyone is someone important.
Those are vapid, uninteresting, and unimportant aspects.
You don't have bad breath, so it's a utopia.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
You are never sad, never hungry. You live forever.
Oh, that's valid.
Such utopia would make even Robespierre blush. But it's not just Thomas More who can shed some light on the situation. Let's loop Christopher Lasch back in. As I discussed in my video on Lasch and limit phobia, the liberal limit phobe is animated by a childish desire to abolish all limitations placed upon him.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to philosophy fucking nerds. And honestly, it's making me want to fucking regurgitate and throw up all over my keyboard. I swear to God, there is nothing more insufferable than some jackass who has read just enough or way too much fucking philosophy and is terminally online and tries to fit everything into his very narrow authoritarian viewpoint. It is really obnoxious. I'm sorry. It's gross.
To the liberal limit phobe, people should be able to be whatever they want, their lives premised on unlimited ecological capacity, unlimited power of America or the Western world, an extreme aversion to any restrictions, limits placed upon them. Limits from social barriers to biology itself should be overcome. I'll again read from Christopher Lasch's The True and Only Heaven, Progress and Its Critics. Limits and hope. These words sum up the two lines of argument I have tried to weave together. One line of argument seeks to distinguish between hope and optimism, and to explore the implication of that distinction. The other explores some of the political and ideological expressions of the sense of limits. It is their recognition of limits alone that justifies consideration of such a great variety of political movements and schools of thought as in any sense part of a single tradition or sensibility. This sensibility, call it populist or petty bourgeois for lack of a better term, was defined, in the first place, by deep reservations about the progressive scheme of history.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is obviously just a screed of conservatism. People got spooked by progress. You know, things like when we stopped killing scientists because they were going against scripture. Really, it was the first blow, and everything just started to fall apart after that. You know, and that's why we need these limits, these different limits that we then put to halt or stall or limit progress. Are really just what gives us this myriad, this rainbow of different thoughts and philosophical schools. And shut the fuck up. God, you fucking nerd.
The idea that history, like science, records a cumulative unfolding of human capacities and that modern civilization is heir to all the achievements of the past ran counter to common sense, that is, to the experience of loss and defeat that make up so much the texture of daily life. Are there no calamities in history, Orestes Brownson demanded? Nothing tragic? Brownson and other opponents of improvement found little evidence of cumulative enlightenment.
Ah, yes, of course. Little evidence of cumulative enlightenment. I mean, really, we just keep going on a big, big loop, right? Right? We just backslid, you know, like 150 years. You know, like there's nothing that shows like a progress of people moving forward and adapting and enhancing themselves in their lives. I mean, just 300 years ago, people were watching YouTube videos just like this, able to communicate in a global network around the world with the understandings of deep physics, mathematics, philosophy. Our literacy rate was about the same, right? You know, like but you know what? Maybe there is some progress, some cumulative enlightenment that does happen. But you know what? Sometimes there are calamities in history, so maybe we shouldn't do it. Geez, golly gee, fuck off. Jesus Christ, this nerd shit.
Officially discredited concepts like nemesis, fate, fortune, or providence seem to speak more directly to human experience in their view than the concept of progress. Indeed, are there no calamities in history or in life? Is there nothing tragic? Well, in Barbie world, there's nothing tragic.
This video is pretty fucking tragic. I'd argue that Barbie is the exact opposite of a conservative triumph. Barbie has shown what it means to be human, life, emotion, death. Barbie rejecting Barbie Land isn't simply rejecting utopia. And we can establish that Barbie Land really wasn't a utopia at all. It really isn't. The entire scene of her deciding she wants to be human completely destroys this point because her decision to leave Barbie Land has nothing to do with a rejection of utopia. She wants to live. More importantly, she wants to be herself, not what she was assigned to be at creation. Ooh! So Barbie is pro-trans. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. Sounds to be like a Nietzschean or no? No, this guy is definitely not Nietzschean. Oh, no, in no fucking way. No, he's a fucking Catholic.
No calamities. Every day is a party. Every day is a vacation. Nobody ages. Nobody complains. Nobody has children, obviously, since nobody has genitals. Barbie world is a world without limits. Indeed, the very limit of biology has been cast aside, with Barbie even admitting in the movie that in Barbie world she's more like an immortal idea, rather than a living, breathing, crying woman. But Barbie rejects this limitless utopia. She rejects this existence because in truth, it's no existence at all. There are calamities to history, and there is tragedy to life.
Wait. So you're this. So in his summation, so what Screwbucket is saying is that Barbie is rejecting her forced purpose and choosing to have predeterminism with all of the problems that can come with it. This guy's saying
she's rejecting utopia so that she can suffer, actually.
Like, what the fuck?
But there is also, well, life to life, with the aforementioned human experiences of love, having children, laughing, authentic joy.
Yeah.
Barbie embraces the bad with the good, electing to become a living, breathing human, rather than retreating to delusions of utopia and limitlessness. She rejects the limit-phobic lie that is Barbie world.
Yeah.
Let's add one more layer here by looping in one of the OG storytellers himself, Homer. You see, not only is Barbie a clearly conservative film, but it's even Homeric, with Barbie serving as
It is definitely not a conservative film under any circumstances. Listen, nerd boy, if you want to twist your fucking neck into a goddamn pretzel so you can suffocate enough of your oxygen to really think that this is a conservative fucking film, harder, daddy, then sure, fuck, go ahead, have fun, weirdo. But like, Jesus Christ. But no, I want to hear.
Barbie is actually just like Odysseus.
Okay, sure, fuck.
our Odysseus. I won't go into a whole plot summary of Homer's Odyssey, but the Spark Notes is that Odysseus is a guy who wants to get back to his family, while his wife is being courted by various men who wish to marry her because
You see, the whole point of the
Odyssey. Oh my god, dude. I'm fucking dying.
You see, the whole point of the Odyssey is Odysseus wants to get back to his wife before she fucks one of the neighbors, actually.
What the fuck? What in the fuck? Oh my god. What in the world? Oh. Whoo. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god.
they all believe Odysseus is dead. Odysseus goes on an odyssey, to return home to his family. Again, that's a 10 million mile high view, and it's one of the greatest works of fiction in human history, so you should check it out if you haven't, but you get the picture.
You guys ever heard of you guys ever heard of that, you know, you might not have heard of it, but yeah, you ever heard of the Odyssey, you know? He's correct that she wants to live the highs and lows of life, but he keeps on coming back to utopia. It's not about utopia. It's about the fact that she wants to be human. She wants to live those highs and lows because it fits what she feels like she's been missing. A conservative ending would be bringing the real-world ideals and structures back to Barbie land because they're better. Yeah. The point of the Odyssey is he doesn't want to be cucked. That's right. Yep. That's the whole point of the Odyssey. Absolutely. Yeah. Now you can make the argument that the overarching personal motivation in the Odyssey is Odysseus is trying to get home, and that his family doesn't really know that he's alive. You can make that argument. That's not the point of the Odyssey at all. It's really fucking not. It's really not even one of the major themes. It's what we would call like the backdrop, and it's only not the backdrop in the larger contemporary metaphysical sense of the goddamn story, but just the personal backdrop of the character and one of his motivations. One of his fucking motivations among a myriad. But on top of that, it is so fucking telling that this weirdo fucking nerd is like,
but before she takes on another lover, well, he's gotta get home, you know, his little old boy.
Fuck, man.
Odysseus is, at one point, stranded on the island of Ogygia with the goddess Calypso. Calypso is a beautiful woman who lusts for Odysseus. She perhaps even loves him.
Yeah.
As a god, she will not age. She will remain beautiful for all eternity.
Yeah.
And she extends an offer to Odysseus.
Yeah.
He can remain on the island with her for all time. He can become immortal. He will never die, and he will spend the rest of his time with a beautiful goddess who lusts for him and to whom he is undoubtedly attracted as well.
Totes wants his nuts.
He will never want for anything, and again, he will never die.
Mm-hmm.
He will, in a sense, become Lash's limitless man, but of course, Odysseus is the hero of our story, and so honoring his wife and son, he declines Calypso's offer. He embraces not only his duty as a husband and a father, but he embraces the fragility and the tragedy of life, aging, hunger, inconvenience, heartache, loss, death, all while admitting that his own wife, Penelope, is not nearly as beautiful as Calypso. Calypso then says to Odysseus, "So then, royal son of Laertes, Odysseus, man of exploits, still eager to leave at once and hurry back to your own home, your beloved native land? Good luck to you, even so, farewell. But if you only knew, down deep, what pains are fated to fill your cup before you reach that shore, you'd stay right here, preside in our house with me, and be immortal." Odysseus understands that pains will befall him. Such is life, such is the human experience, and he undertakes these pains willingly. You know what other protagonist embraces these pains willingly, giving up the hope of immortality and perfection? You guessed it, Barbie. Barbie is a Homeric figure. She's our modern-day Odysseus.
Wait. No. What? No. What in the fuck? Like, okay. If Barbie... Wait, what the fuck? Okay, so the problem with this is that in Odysseus, in the Odyssey, Odysseus is a mortal man who is given the offer to live forever, and he rejects it. He never at any point in time touches this other world. So he has no frame of reference. He does do so to reject out of, true love. And it seems like in a way he largely didn't have much of an interest in being immortal. But like Barbie was not mortal and then tasted immortality. She was immortal and then tasted mortality. Like, if you want to say it's a reverse Odysseus, like maybe, but it's a reverse Odysseus from a very narrow, tiny part of the Odyssey. And like, if you're to take like a fourth of a chapter of a book and show a similarity to a movie, you can't really say that they're the same when there's a whole lot of other shit going on. Like, this is just reaching to try and be like,
Actually, it's a Homeric film about the blah, blah.
And it's nerd shit. It's nerd shit. Like, what the fuck?
Indeed, the movie Barbie is our modern-day Odyssey. One might even call Greta Gerwig our new Homer. What is it to be a conservative? It's not to praise the market as if it were God.
No, it's to be an authoritarian.
It's not to support endless wars in foreign nations.
Nobody ever said it was.
Conservatism at its core is the acceptance of limits, the fragility and shortcomings to life, and an appreciation for what it is to be a flawed, limited human being.
Incorrect. It is to force those things on others. You can be personally conservative all you want, but contemporarily to be a conservative is to judge society that it needs to be that way. And we can tell this is the case because you're making a video on it. You're not just simply living your life on your own fucking terms in all your ways, my beloveds, to just simply be a quiet conservative with your little house, and your obedient wife, and pump her full of kids and praise Jesus, Like, that's the whole thing. The point of conservatism is not to live a humble life within your limits. It is to enforce those limits on other people. It is authoritarianism. That's what it is. That's what it always has been. And the only reason why people claim it isn't is because it's unpopular. And they know it's unpopular, so they have to hide it, Who is Barbie in this analogy? Who is Barbie returning to? For this to work, Barbie would have to come from the real world. I know. It's just none of it makes any fucking sense. None of it makes any fucking sense. Makes you feel bad. I like Homeric works. No. There's no reason. It's just that this guy has to plug in things that make him sound smart into pieces of contemporary culture to try and validate like all of the stupid shit that he says. That's the whole point of it. So don't feel bad about that.
It's not just Homer or Thomas More or Christopher Lash who understand this. You can look to others too.
Ooh, yeah. I say Barbie's Arwen from Lord of the Rings is both chose a life among humans. Sure. Yeah. And and even that is a stretch, for sure. It's a huge stretch. Because like a lot of the background motivations of like The world of the elves is not this like weird dystopian, fucked up authoritarian nightmare that Barbie Land is. So, yeah.
Edmund Burke and Russell Kirk, who articulated much the same in their own ways.
Blah, blah,
there
blah,
comes
blah.
a point where you can throw thinker after thinker and book after book up on the board, but the core of what it means to be a conservative remains the same. It's to reject utopia, to understand projects aimed at utopia's instantiation as mere folly.
That's
a
not what
fool's
it means.
errand.
That's not what
The
it means
good
at
place is no place. It will always be no place. We ought to embrace life for the joys it offers us, despite the pains it promises us.
When you say things like that, does it make you feel smart and noble and virtuous? Like,
I know that life will be hard, so I'm going to endure the pains of life so that I can enjoy the goods of life.
wow. Wow. That's amazing. Like, nobody else does that. That's so interesting. That's so retro, so wild, so fresh, such a unique perspective on it. It's not like every single person on the fucking planet also has to suffer and then by that reference can enjoy life. It's so weird. That's such a fresh take. I've never heard that said before in the, 3,000 to 4,000 years that philosophers have been saying that exact same fucking thing, and in no way, shape, or form is that a conservative virtue, you weirdo fucking dork. Jesus Christ. What a fucking nerd.
We should be skeptical of promises of perfection and hold fast against the siren's song of utopia,
Siren song
no
of
matter how
utopia.
plastic or fantastic.
Fucking nerd, dude. Nerd shit. Absolute fucking nerd shit. Ugh, God, what a pile of shit that was.